Shay Taylor joining us live in South Moorhead to show us what exactly happened. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning, Jordan and Ashlyn. That's right. This family that lives in this home has a lot to clean up because of this incident. I'll step out the way so you can see the extent of the damage here. You can see that garage has a big old hole from a car smashing right into it. You can also see the skid marks going from the grass onto the sidewalk, onto another patch of grass, right on through the backyard here. The fence is completely destroyed. The deck is destroyed as well because of all of this. Now let's go back and talk about what happened here. Police say they were led on a chase down 19th Street South. We're right here at the intersection of 19th Street South and 20th Avenue South. That's where police say, again, they were led on a chase, and it ended here at this home at this intersection. Police say they were chasing after the vehicle. They were making a stop when the vehicle sped off. They said the vehicle had no registration at the time when they were making that stop there. But police say they were led on that chase all the way down to this area. And once they got to this point, they said they had lost the vehicle at one point, but they noticed that there was damage to a fence. And that's when they found this vehicle here. Now, unfortunately, no one was hurt through all of this, but police say they are still looking for the person who caused this mess right behind me. You know, they say that they set up a perimeter to search for the individual that was driving the vehicle once the car smashed into the backyard here, but they were unable to find that individual. So they are still looking for a suspect right now at this time. Reporting live in Moorhead, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Yeah, thankfully no one was injured in this major incident. A really wild timetable as we look at the details. Thank you, Nishay, for that live report this morning. New information this morning on a weekend apartment fire in South Fargo that turned deadly. Fire officials now releasing the names of 2 people who died. 3-year-old Serenity Ray Zamarón passed away Friday, and 26-year-old Jose Zamarón Tellez died the next day. The fire happened Friday afternoon in the 4300 block of 10th Avenue South.
Crews found flames in a second-story unit, then found the 2 victims inside the apartment. Their deaths are being investigated by the Cass County Coroner's Office and the Ramsey County, Minnesota Medical Examiner's Office. No word yet on what caused that fire.
Time now for a look at our storm team forecast as we send things over to meteorologist Lisa Green this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We're looking at smoke. It's back here in the valley, at least for some of us, as we've watched some of that cooler air from the east kind of drifting into some of our eastern counties, and that's brought along with it some of that wildfire smoke that's been affecting more places over into the Great Lakes. So this morning we're waking up to air quality that's not the greatest here over toward the east. We're looking at places like Beltrami County, the Bemidji area, Park Rapids, Bagley, down toward Wadena in that orange category. And that means unhealthy for some of us. So if you're sensitive to that smoke, that's going to be unhealthy for you. And then in yellow, Fargo, Grand Forks under that moderate range. So we're keeping an eye on things, but again, wildfire smoke back here for those areas. That may be one reason why your visibility is down a little bit to the east. We also have a little rain that's been developing in places like Bemidji. Out to the west, our visibility is down because of fog. We're looking at visibility less than a mile in Cavalier. Over toward Candu, we're at a mile for visibility. Cooperstown's at 2 miles. Southern Valley, similar situation in Jamestown at 2.5 miles. And then better visibility in places like Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, and Fargo. And you can see that haze in the air here in Fargo. A lot of it is aloft, but for some of us, it is working its way to the surface, that smoke. So here's a look at our conditions here. We're at 68 degrees in Fargo, warm this morning, 66 in Grand Forks. In Bemidji, a little bit of rain being reported now. And in Devil's Lake, we're sunny at 68, according to our report there. And looking at your radar and satellite map, most of the rain has been east. Radar now picking up on some rain into Beltrami County, right over the Bemidji area we were just showing you there. So again, conditions varying here, but most of us on the quiet side this morning. And just like recent days, we're going to heat things up as the day goes on, getting into some upper 80s in Fargo today, and then chances for rain and thunder return for this afternoon. Again, it'll be scattered, so some of us will get the downpour, some of us will stay on the dry side. And more of this continues into the rest of the work week, quieting down a little bit more as we go into the weekend.
Quite literally a rinse and repeat for a lot of folks out there.
Yeah, you know, and some of us haven't gotten that rinse yet. We haven't seen some rain in some spots. So hopefully if you're feeling a little bit dry out there, you'll get your opportunities at some rain in the coming days.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. 6:56 right now. MnDOT crews have been working through the night on a pavement buckle just east of Moorhead. Traffic was slowed and then moved to the shoulder of the road near mile marker 10 on Interstate 94. The problem was in both eastbound lanes. Crews arrived just before 10 last night. The work was expected to take about 6 hours.
MnDOT says the heaves happen when air temperature changes from moderate to extreme heat that we've been dealing with. When a road is constructed, though, it is cut into segments, creating a space for expansion, but sometimes it's just not a big enough space. That's when the pavement buckles. And this is the 5th pavement buckle we've heard about in just the past few days.
We told you yesterday about 3 up in Grand Forks, another along Highway 10 in Detroit Lakes. All of those again blamed on that extreme heat.
West Fargo City Commissioners now giving the go-ahead on construction on 9th Street Northeast. This is north of Main Avenue. Commissioners last night approved a budget of about $22 million for a 3-lane urban corridor. The grants will bring the city's cost down to about $14 million instead. That project is scheduled for 2025.
We have a traffic alert for drivers in downtown Fargo starting today. Broadway is shutting down to through traffic between Main Avenue and First Avenue South, so a crane can be placed at the Bell Bank project. That closure is expected to last about 1 week.
A big announcement for Grand Forks. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg visited the area announcing a $30 million grant for a project that's now been in the works for nearly 20 years. The project will include the construction of a bridge separating road and rail at Demers and 42nd Street. Right now, BNSF rail lines cut through the city, requiring traffic to reroute more than 1 mile from 42nd Street crossing to Columbia Road. North Dakota DOT officials say it will improve safety and convenience for people in Grand Forks, and those in the White House say they're happy to support not only the state but the whole region.
Place like North Dakota needs and deserves federal support, and I'm proud to be here to demonstrate the administration's support, not just for Grand Forks, but for this whole region.
The Grand Forks project includes $7.5 million in federal highway administration funds. It's expected to reduce vehicle delays and will improve access to Alter Hospital and the University of North Dakota campus. The Department of Transportation, BNSF, and the city of Grand Forks will contribute non-federal funding to help supplement this project. Xcel Energy now pumping the brakes on its plan to build more than 700 electric vehicle charging stations throughout the state of Minnesota. Nearly $200 million in customer money would have been used in that project, but Xcel says the state did not let the utility hikes that they wanted go as high as they could. Now they are asking the state to reconsider that decision. We'll get a load of this story here. Criminals try all sorts of stunts, but this so-called Great Boxhead Bandit of Miami didn't get too far. Owners of a phone repair store caught someone on camera stealing their merchandise while you saw it right there, wearing a cardboard box as a hat. But then the bad guy slipped up a bit and at one point took off that box, showing his face. That's how police caught up with him. He's now charged with grand theft and cocaine possession. The Boxhead Bandit, not successful. They always say think outside of the box, and he did that wrong. He was very much thinking in it. This is a bad comic book cartoon. It really is. It's all gone wrong. It's like the Wet Bandits and Home Alone. Oh, I know. Well, anyway, that guy got what was deserving to him. Anyway, thank you for watching us here on the Valley today. Yeah, we so appreciate you all joining us. Take care. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you right here tomorrow morning.